Okay, great. Good afternoon. Southeastern Connecticut Enterprise Region, or sector, was created in 1992 to spawn regional economic development in southeastern Connecticut. We're located in New London County in the southeastern part of the state. We also manage revolving loan funds with both state and federal at both state and federal level. We have Procurement Technical Assistance Center, or PTAC, which operates across the state. And we also have small development center counselors that are part of our organization. So if you think about it, we've been given this great opportunity due to the national mandate by the current administration to develop 30 gigawatts of offshore wind power. If you think about it, that's 2,000 to 2,500 windmills that need to go out into the lease areas on the Atlantic coast. 12 of those projects are located right off of Rhode Island, New York, and Massachusetts. So once in a lifetime opportunity, and luckily for us, we have some assets that I think that will help us do that. The state pier, which is located in New London, was an underutilized pier, which through a joint venture with the Connecticut Port Authority and Eversource Orsted, went and created or renovated the pier, which will be done in early 2023. $70 million of that $250 million investment is from the private developers. We have both parent companies, Park City Wind or Avangrid and Revolution Wind, Eversource Orsted, that are 2 of the 12 projects that are currently in development through the lease areas. Because of Sikorsky and Electric Boat, the state has an existing technical supply chain that can be harnessed. We can use that blueprint that those companies have to develop the offshore wind industry workforce. And the University of Connecticut Avery Point campus, which is located at the mouth of the Thames River, will house our research and development and our accelerator and incubation programs for future businesses for offshore wind. A preliminary REMI study, when you see that the investments that we're trying to do, projects that peak employment opportunity of about 6,000 people, which will normalize to 3,200, with income growth exceeding 500 million. Now, what does this mean to us? Well, we want to build domestic capacity because all the capacity for the supply chain right now doesn't exist here. It's over in Europe, it's in China. So our whole idea behind the cluster development is to bring it here to the United States and more specifically to our region and our cluster. And it also allows us to grow equitably with our growth goals. The cluster's region contains 13 of the top 25 distressed communities in the state. It allows us to build resiliently, it diversifies our economy, and it gets us off legacy industries such as the defense industry and hospitality. Now, if you look at this picture, you go, wow, this is the entire business cycle, because that's what it is. Research and development and technology transfer to commercialize and then to incubate. Incubation of the businesses is here. We have a business park that we want to develop, an industrial park that will host businesses entering the market or expanding to support offshore wind. And far down the timeline, if you think about it, these new businesses that are developed by UConn's R&D and Incubation Center can live there. The workforce is supported by the Eastern Connecticut Workforce Investment Board. It's been around for 10 years and it's been developing the defense industry's workforce to make sure that we can look at the blueprint. We can take our curriculum to the high school, to the technical schools, to the community colleges, and we can take that blueprint and apply it to the wind industry. We have the connecting existing supply chain manufacturers and service providers with the right opportunities facilitated by the Connecticut Center for Advanced Technology through our offshore wind supply chain connection project. And the Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments intends to identify potential underutilized parcels up and along the Thames River to support offshore wind. We have 20 sites that are already identified. And the partnership brings it all together through an interstate collaboration, which has an industry-informed focus on workforce and supply chain development. Just take a look at this picture and you realize that the East Coast, not the West Coast, is where all of the offshore wind will be developed. We say 30 gigawatts by 2030. The nation has a 2050 goal of 100 gigawatts. And most of it is right here in the lease areas off of New England. We reached out to Rhode Island and Massachusetts in the spirit of collaboration and put together the partnership because we believe that type of collaboration is how we'll succeed, not only regionally, but nationally. Our lens needs to be widened, and there are organizations right here listening to this presentation that can help us do that. So please, let's do it. I want to introduce my partners today that will assist in fielding some questions. A great partner to the cluster's development is the Department of Economic and Community Development for the state of Connecticut, Sam Brill. And additionally, Melinda Wilson, Sector's Director of Grants, will assist in answering your questions. So let's field some questions.